So these are messages from your past self. The way I see it is like there's a lot of readings about messages from your future, and that can kind of create some anxiety sometimes. But this is about closing a cycle, kind of getting, I forget the word now. When you end a relationship but you haven't gotten closure, getting closure on a situation. Doesn't have to be a relationship, I just thought of that. And then something I wanted to say is that when you do these readings and you're picking out a pile, that's you trusting your intuition. So you're interacting with the reading. That's why I prefer it to like readings where it's just a message, because sometimes this is like a little bit more personalized. So I hope that empowers you through this process of choosing what pile is good for you. Sometimes it's good to pause the video and then just kind of meditate on the objects and the images. And you can either trust the image or the object or both, or you could also, I feel like it's better to just kind of take the first option that you thought of and not think about it too much. So this is number 1. This is SMOKY quartz. It's a little bit broken. It's actually like kind of like a worry stone, and it takes away anxiety, depression, like any kind of feelings like that. It's kind of nice. And it goes with this card. I want to see her as a mermaid, though she might just be a woman, but she's underwater, possibly drowning. I don't know. And this is number 2. It's got a little cherub on it, and it's a box for jewelry. It's empty, or pills, or heart-shaped cherub. And it goes with this tree that's kind of cut here in the middle. Possibly, or it's just, maybe it's just foggy and you can't see. And the third option is this tiger. It's black tiger ring. It's got green eyes. That's kind of cool. Red mouth, green eyes. Some silver in there. And that goes with this bird that's out of a cage. So I'll give you a minute to choose, and I'll start the reading. And again, you can pause the video. Okay, this is for pile number 1, which is SMOKY quartz and this oracle card. So again, we're looking at what are messages from your past self, like what your past self will tell you today. If you could meet it, if you could meet your past self. Things are falling away now. The false self can no longer be held. Deep emotions here held for so long at bay are now being felt. The mask is being lifted and the facade is falling away piece by piece, making space for the authentic self to come forward and be realized. So I'm getting a lot of messages. I'm getting the message of you did the best that you could. It was really hard. You couldn't continue the way that you were. You had to give up a lot, and you now may feel regret over things, but your past self wants you to know that there's nothing to regret. It was just really difficult. You were going through a really tough time, and you had to surrender, like you had to give up on some level, but you weren't really giving up, like you were giving in to something that was stronger than you or felt stronger than you at the time. We'll get more information about what this was, but it has to do with a movement. Some of you were actually practicing movement, like some kind of movement art. like yoga or dancing or something. But also, a lot of you had to move. You had to leave a difficult situation. And I'm getting that you were very emotional and you're very swept up by the emotion, but you may have not shown it outwardly. Like you may have kind of been numb outwardly and not expressed much and just kind of made these bold decisions for yourself. And your past self understands that there's a lot of regret and that there's a lot of sadness over how things went, but it just kind of had to be. So let's see what else you got here. The divine spark at the core of your very being wants to be seen, unmasked, unshrouded. Allow it to shine brilliant and strong. This is who you truly are. So it's saying that you wore a mask, because this was talking about a mask as well. You wore a mask when you were younger, like in the past, in order to shield you and shelter you from a difficult situation. And now it's like you're being called to shine from within, that you have this divinity within you. You just have to trust it, that it's not, that this time around it's not like fool's gold, that you're actually going for something real. And the people you're connecting with as well, like the experiences and people that you're connecting with, they're seeing your true worth, they're seeing your true shine, and you can rely on it, you can depend on it, that this is a growth time for you, that you're changing, you're growing, you're blooming. Sometimes it feels like growing pains, but it's nothing compared to what you've been through. And that it's okay to feel the pain, but it's kind of asking you to start to let people in, start to shine, start to open up more vulnerably, because it's worth it. Womb of Potential. That's card number 10. Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so there's been a lot of change. It's like very abrupt change in maybe like the last 10 years or something like that. It feels like you've just had a lot of abrupt, sudden changes in your life, and you are embracing it, and you are you are becoming someone new. And I think you are really grateful for everything you've been through. But your past self wants to tell you that all of this was necessary. It was all kind of part of your path, part of your mission. It was all divinely orchestrated. And that you're on the right path, that everything's okay, everything's okay. It just keeps reminding me that, keeps saying that. You have here third eye chakra, sixth chakra, which is the third eye. So you're becoming more in tune with messages from your past and why things happened the way that they did. It feels like you have a clear understanding of where it is you're headed in your life, but sometimes it doesn't feel like it's in your control, because you have a divine mission, like it's a bigger mission than you are able to understand at the moment. And it's all kind of coming together slowly. And I think if you understood everything, it would overwhelm you and you wouldn't be able to show up for it. It's saying that there's a powerful person behind this and why these things happened. This person could be part of your divine path, like they could be like a soulmate of yours or a boss or just someone who's really important in your path. It could be a father for a lot of you with the Emperor. And you're shining, you're going to outlive the situation, you're going to shine, you're going to succeed and make a lot of money from the situation, even because of it, because of the weird circumstances you were put into. And with the Seven of Cups, it's like a lot of it was smoke and mirrors. You were made to not see your own worth and your own beauty. But you're taking back your power with the King of Wands. You're able to now create and manifest the life that you want to live. You're healing a lot of generational karma, a lot of it around the masculine. And becoming either the woman or the man that you've always wanted to be. And it feels like you're getting a lot of downloads, a lot of information, but things are also happening out of your control. So what would your past self tell you? To be gentle with yourself, that you've come a long way. It wasn't for nothing. What you went through wasn't for nothing. It wasn't a waste of time. That's what I'm hearing. Your dreams aren't delusional. They do make sense. They have a bigger scheme. But there are people that could be standing in your way right now, and it's important to see if you can collaborate with them or work with them so that they're not threatened by your success, because it feels like they might be key characters in your ability to move forward. But it really is talking about the past, and that's the main focus, is like, you've come a long way, you've achieved a lot in your life, even if you're not seeing it currently, like there's so much success. And you know your capabilities now, like after everything you've been through, it's like you really understand who you are and what you're capable of. And you've become quite formidable, like you've become this really strong, intelligent, creative, abundant person that people look up to and people see as a leader. Yeah, you're able to lead people even more than what you realize. And your younger self is just looking at you and thinking that, like, you've become the kind of person they would have wanted to be when they were young. So, but it's just encouraging you to shine your light more with the star and this card here. Like, they're so similar. And then we also have the Magician and the Emperor and the King of Wands. There's like so much light coming through, and it's coming through your unconscious, and you just need to kind of tap into it and make it into a regular spiritual practice of yours, that you're connecting with this part of yourself that's dynamic and strong and bold and a leader. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I'll be going on to the next, and maybe I'll see you in another video. So this is for anyone who chose pile number 2. It's this little cherub heart-shaped pill box or little jewelry box. And this trait, we're going to read the message. Do not cut yourself short. Allow yourself the possibility to be magnificent. Do not be afraid of being all that you dream. So your younger self is telling you to maybe like look back on some of the dreams that you had when you were younger, that you may have some kind of journal that you forgot about, that where you kept a lot of these ideas or dreams or thoughts that you had, and it might be good for you to look at. And it might feel like, oh, there's nothing there. Like I was silly back then, or I was young, I had foolish ideas in my head. But there actually is something in there, and you just need to look through it. I would even say, like, look through it with, like, well, I don't know if you want to do this, but maybe with, like, a highlighter or something, just to, like, mark out the things where you're like, oh, wow, this is really... Or even just, like, make a circle, draw something around it to come back to something really significant, even if it's just a feeling that you had, an idea, something inspiring to you. Maybe you did like collage work. I don't know. The kids do all kinds of things like that, you know, when you're like a teenager. And there could be something there where you were creating almost like a vision board in that way. And there's something important for you to gain inspiration from for your future. And this is about immersion. So it's about taking your past and not separating yourself from it. There's a part of you that might want to be independent from your past and think like, oh, that's not me anymore. I'm a different person. I've grown, I've changed. I've put all that past behind me. Like I've already moved out of my childhood home. I don't have access to those journals. But it's kind of like important maybe to go back or to maybe, I can't tell you that, but like maybe just kind of think about what it was that happened in your childhood, because there's something that was cut off, like some kind of emotional disconnect that you have between your current self and your past. And you need that in order to feel rooted and grounded. Interesting. Oh wow, so this could be singing for some of you. It could be speaking, like public speaking. There's something around the throat chakra. So there's some kind of truth maybe in that journal or in some place. And then you have the sacral. Where's the solar plexus? I think this is, wait. I did this before, which is funny. I think it might be solar plexus. Let's see. I know it has to do with confidence. It says navel chakra. Okay, it's not telling me. Whatever. It's responsible for personal power, self-esteem, and a sense of purpose. So this might be about connecting with your purpose. It also has to do with fire and the sun. So getting your confidence back and speaking up about things that are important to you, and maybe connecting with some kind of spoken word art form. Something about your past caused you a lot of sorrow. It was an opportunity that was taken from you. For some of you, this could be like a partner, marriage partner, I don't know. There's a loss. There was a lot of people involved in this situation. You had feelings and you were quite committed. This situation gave you a lot of joy once, but then it just caused a lot of regret and sorrow. And your past self is telling you to reconnect with the things that give you joy again. To kind of put the past in the past, which is funny because I was telling you to not do that, but it's like certain things, you know, hope you understand that. Like there's people that you can no longer talk to, or there's situations that you can't come back to anymore. But there might be certain dreams or certain hobbies that you had when you were younger that you are being encouraged to come back to, specifically around speaking, writing, like communication, arts, or even being a public speaker. Like there might be something that you need to talk about and that might not be apparent to you as I'm speaking right now. But then if you look through your journal, I think it has to do with nature or animals and being free, being out in nature. Singing, I'm seeing singing very strongly here as well. So this was all part of your evolution. It was a way for you to get more confident on your own. And it was quite devastating. Like it was very hurtful or very sad or very, maybe grief for some of you. Like there was some kind of loss involved. It was something that gave you a lot of joy and happiness. I feel like it was you and another person, or maybe you and like a group of people, and this was your home or your family, and it all changed. I don't think it changed abruptly, but there is this kind of disconnect. It feels like what's currently happening and what happened in the past are disconnected for you, and there was a loss around it. And this loss might kind of feel like a sharp-edged sword mentally. When you think about it, it might like be that painful, like a sharp-edged sword. But you're being encouraged to focus on home and family now with whatever you have currently, and to reconnect with the things that were meaningful to you in the past. And I also think like this box is interesting because you picked this and it's almost like you can store things in here, but it's also a heart. It's a heart shape, and opening that heart and finding out what's inside there. So maybe journaling around your heart space, around the things that you want, around the things that you love, around nostalgia, certain types of nostalgia. It's like you disconnected from your past, and that may have been some kind of trauma response, but you need to reconnect with your past in a gentle way that makes you feel again, where you feel safe enough to express things, to explore the things that you love, to be confident about it, to speak up about it, to do those hobbies that you enjoyed so much, to reconnect even with memories. I'm thinking like the not painful ones, because it's important for you to have those roots, like I was saying before, and to not entirely disconnect from your past. Not see your past self and your present self as separate people, but rather just kind of a continuation. Even though it was painful, you want to be able to continue your life and flow from it. So that was your reading. I'm going to continue on to the third pile. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in a next video. Okay, hi guys. So you chose this tiger ring, feisty little tiger ring with the green eyes, and this card of a bird that's coming out of a cage, or it's already released from the cage. So let's read this. The temptation to step back into the known parameters is strong. It is okay to need time stepping in and out, testing your wings. Your natural instincts will surface again, allowing your inner knowing to be trusted enough to fly your own path, movement. So this card is encouraging you to leave a situation, but you're looking back and forth, and maybe your past self is telling you, like, it's okay to move on. You don't have to hold on to the past. You don't have to keep reminiscing or keep thinking about the people from the past or the experiences that you had in the past. It's never going to be taken from you, like those memories, but it's important for you to evolve and continue your life. You have Blossoming Spirit, which is the Hierophant. So this might be rules and regulations and marriage as well. There's a feeling of strong boundaries and strong kind of commitment to how things are supposed to be. You may be very traditional or grew up in a very traditional household. Wow, root chakra. So really encouraging you to connect with your self-worth, with your safety, and encouraging you to step out and be confident and speak up for your own rights. Defend yourself. So we talked about marriage. I was talking about leaving a difficult situation behind. You are getting, it's like you're getting everything you've ever wanted, or you've gotten everything you've ever wanted, but it's been a difficult path. It's been a difficult journey for you. It's like you spent a lot of time on your own. You may have never had a relationship, like an intimate relationship. There was a lot of turmoil and a lot of anger, and it took time. It's like taking time for you to form your own personality and become strong and independent and an adult. Like, you may be an adult, but you may kind of have a lot of attachments to things from your childhood, from your past, and that might be why you were attracted to this reading. But yeah, there is this anger that's encouraging you to take action. And even if it means being alone for a while, even if it means breaking up a family or breaking up something that felt solid and felt traditional just because it was traditional and you were keeping it, it's like important for you to go after the things that you love and the things that make you happy now. And you have this opportunity to choose. But it's your decision. Like, no one can make this decision for you. No one can influence you. I have no idea who you are. I'm just reading a collective message. So it's important for you to make your own mind about things and see what resonates and what doesn't. But there could be a situation that just doesn't feel like it's connecting with who you are, and you're wanting to leave. And it's a slow process. But your past self is telling you that you went through a really difficult time, that it sees how lonely you have been. It sees how broken your home was. It sees how you continue to stick by people and be loyal to situations that are not loyal to you. It also sees how you've kept on to your dreams and never gave up, and that's the reason you're going to succeed in them. It sees that you have this special soulmate, whether you've met them or not, and that this person had a similar childhood to you, but they're a lot more independent. Like, when you meet them, or if you've met them, you'll see that they just kind of do their own thing. They go their own path. They don't ask as many questions. They're not as traditional as you may be. And your past self is just encouraging you to leave certain memories from your past behind and move forward, forge your own path. That you've gained a lot of wisdom through the years, that you've been able to get a lot of the things you dreamt of, or create the things that you dreamt of. And it's not always about what other people think. A lot of it's just about being able to look at yourself and where you've come from and how far you've gone. But that it's important for you to have like reality checks with yourself and figure out how you're feeling about your life path and where it is you're headed. That anger can be useful if you know how to constructively use it by understanding where it is, what it's signaling to you, like where it is that you're no longer satisfied, or where it is that your boundaries have been violated, possibly. The earth is a very strong kind of healer, and I mean it in a literal sense, like spending time in nature, spending time laying, sitting, standing on the earth, on the soil. And I'm seeing that like over and over again, several different places. How important the sunshine is as well. How important it is that you make your own decisions in life and don't do things by the book or do things because of what others may say or may think. Yeah, and that it's been a slow journey, but it's okay. This is your own journey. There's been abrupt changes, and a lot of these abrupt changes were because you had to go your own path, and a lot of people around you didn't understand your path. But like this tiger, it's like you have this feisty spirit. And also it's a ring. And I'm thinking of rings as almost like these protection. Like a talisman of protection. And it feels like you needed to do this in order to protect yourself. Maybe there are times where you were very isolated and went into hermit phase, but that was like an important, necessary process for you in order to gain that safety and protection and stand up for yourself. You have a really spiritual connection to the earth. You might actually be an earth sign or a fire sign. I don't know how that pertains to you guys, but yeah. We have like Virgo, and then all the earth signs, and then we have Leo, Aries, Sag, and Gemini. So yeah, that was your reading. I hope that helped, and hope you enjoyed it. Please only take messages that resonate and leave what doesn't. And yeah, see you in the next one.